Picture this. Nearly 2,000 years ago, seekers gather in a candlelit chamber beneath Alexandria. They aren't there to worship, as the growing church commands. They're sharing a dangerous secret. Divinity isn't something far away in heaven, but a spark burning within each of us. A spark organized religion was trying to extinguish. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your guide, and today we're uncovering one of history's most misunderstood and deliberately suppressed wisdom traditions: Gnosticism. The word Gnostic comes from the Greek gnosis, meaning knowledge. But this isn't classroom knowledge. This is direct, transformative experience, like the difference between reading about fire and feeling its heat on your skin. When Emperor Constantine embraced Christianity, when the Council of Nicaea standardized belief, when orthodoxy was enforced with an iron fist, the Gnostics were driven underground. Their texts were burned, their ideas demonized, their voices silenced. But why? Why did these teachings terrify the powers that be? Because, dear viewer, the Gnostics held a dangerous secret. Religious intermediaries, church authorities, even priests themselves were unnecessary. They taught that the path to divinity wasn't through church walls, but through the divine spark in every human heart. In the next few minutes, we'll explore Gnostic core teachings, reveal how they survived in the shadows of the Middle Ages, and why these ancient insights still hold revolutionary power for modern seekers. Are you ready? Let's step into this forgotten treasury of knowledge and discover a truth that might fundamentally change how you understand yourself and reality itself. In 1945, near the Egyptian town of Nag Hammadi, a farmer made an accidental discovery that would force history to reconsider what it thought it knew. Buried in sealed clay jars lay ancient papyrus texts, the Nag Hammadi library. Through these fragile pages, the silenced voice of Gnosticism spoke again after centuries of forced silence. Gnosticism wasn't a single religion, but a family of spiritual traditions sharing core beliefs. From Alexandria to Syria, these thinkers created an astonishing worldview that flourished during the Roman Empire's golden age. Gnostic thought spread rapidly across the Mediterranean world. It attracted intellectuals, artists, and those unsatisfied with mainstream religious offerings. It merged Greek philosophy, Middle Eastern mysticism, and early Christian thought into something both profound and revolutionary. The central Gnostic belief was simple yet shocking. The material world wasn't created by the ultimate divine source, but by a lower deity, the Demiurge or craftsman. This creator was often portrayed as ignorant or even malevolent. They believed human souls contain a divine spark trapped in the prison of the material body. True salvation came not through faith or deeds, but through special knowledge, gnosis, that awakened inner divinity and transcended material limitations. This worldview was explosive in the political and religious climate of the time. Consider what Rome was doing, using Christianity to unify the empire, while the Gnostics proclaimed, "You don't need priests to tell you how to reach the divine. The God worshipped by the church may only be a secondary creator. True divinity resides within your own heart." No wonder they faced brutal suppression. In 367 CE, Bishop Athanasius issued his famous Easter letter listing the canonical Christian texts, effectively creating what we now know as the New Testament. He also ordered the destruction of all heretical literature. It was likely this order that led to the hiding of the texts later found at Nag Hammadi. Despite persecution, Gnostic thought never died. It continued in different forms. In the medieval Cathars, Renaissance alchemists, Rosicrucians, Theosophists, and even in 20th century existentialist philosophy, we can trace echoes of Gnostic ideas throughout history. What's most remarkable about Gnostic thought is its resilience. Even when targeted for elimination by combined religious and political power, it survived, flowing quietly through history's cracks until today. Now, in this age of information, in a world where science and spiritual seeking coexist, the ancient wisdom of the Gnostics seems more compelling than ever. So what secrets did these suppressed teachings contain? Why have they attracted truth seekers across millennia? Let's delve deeper. Let's unveil the most captivating Gnostic doctrines, those views branded as heresy that might actually represent humanity's deepest spiritual insights. First is the Gnostic understanding of divine knowledge. This isn't knowledge as we normally think of it. Gnosis is a direct, personal mystical experience. an immediate connection with cosmic truth. Imagine suddenly realizing you've been wearing tinted glasses your whole life, and in that moment, removing them to see true color for the first time. Carl Jung described gnosis as experiential knowledge of that which is hidden. This experience is so profound it can transform one's entire way of being. For Gnostics, this experience, not faith or deeds, was true salvation. Second is the Gnostic concept of creation. Unlike mainstream religion, Gnostics believed our material world wasn't created by the supreme divine source, but by a lower deity, the Demiurge. This creator was described as arrogant, ignorant, or even malevolent, creating a flawed world full of suffering. Imagine how subversive this was. While churches taught followers to thank God for creating this perfect world, Gnostics were saying, this world of suffering and injustice, this isn't the work of the true God, but of a flawed, lesser creator. This dualism solved a problem that troubled philosophers for millennia. If God is all good, why does evil exist? The Gnostic answer was straightforward. Because the being who created this world is not the true God. Third is the Gnostic view of human nature. Gnostics believed every person contains a divine spark, a fragment of true divinity imprisoned in material form. The Gospel of Thomas states, "The kingdom of God is within you and all around you." This view parallels India's Vedantic philosophy, which similarly holds that one's true nature is united with the divine source. The revolutionary nature of this view is clear. It made salvation an internal process, not something granted from outside. You don't need church, priests, or external authority to achieve salvation. You need only to rediscover the divinity you already possess. The Gospel of Philip states, people fashion a god, and they cannot create a god. What they create are idols, not gods. This directly addresses the core problem with religious institutions. They often externalize divinity, creating a god image that requires specific intermediaries like the church to access. Gnostics maintain that true divinity isn't in heaven, not in temples or churches, but within your own being. This perspective sparked a powerful question. If divinity resides within us, if each of us carries a divine spark, then what is our true identity? What separates us from what we call God? These questions made Gnostic thought dangerous throughout history, because once people realize they need no intermediary to access divinity, the entire power structure of religious authority begins to crumble. But this is just the beginning. The depth of Gnostic teaching extends much further, with insights on time, cosmic structure, and human destiny that remain astonishing. Let's continue exploring these forgotten wisdoms. One of the most fascinating Gnostic concepts is the pleroma, a realm of pure spirit beyond the material universe. This is the dwelling place of the true God and divine emanations called eons. Unlike our material universe, the pleroma is a state of perfect harmony and light. This concept resembles Plato's world of forms and, intriguingly, resonates with modern physics theories of multidimensional universes. When quantum physicists describe our three-dimensional space as a projection of higher dimensions, they might be expressing scientifically what Gnostics taught 2,000 years ago. Gnostic texts describe a complex creation story. According to the secret book of John, the true God emanated divine energies or eons. One of these, Sophia, wisdom, separated from the pleroma due to her desire to create. Her action released imperfect energy, eventually forming the Demiurge and the material world. This explanation resembles the modern Big Bang theory, from pure energy gradually cooling to form our material universe. Except in the Gnostic view, this process was a fall or error, not the result of perfect design. Even more surprising is the Gnostic view of time. In the Gospel of Truth, we read, "Ignorance is like a nightmare." Gnostics believe we're trapped in an illusion of linear time, while true existence transcends time. This aligns with modern physics concept that time is relative and Eastern philosophy's notion of the eternal now. Another key Gnostic concept involves the archons, beings that operate between material and spiritual realms, maintaining the order and rules of the material world. They function as cosmic system administrators. Archons limit human consciousness through desire, fear, and social norms. This concept feels relevant today when we're controlled by social media algorithms, consumerism, and societal expectations, aren't we experiencing the archonic control Gnostics warned about? When we unconsciously pursue socially defined success rather than following our authentic inner voice, aren't we obeying these invisible system administrators? One of the most controversial aspects of Gnostic thought is its understanding of good and evil. Unlike mainstream religions that position good and evil as opposites, Gnostics held that this distinction itself is part of the Demiurge's illusion. True divinity transcends such dualism. The Gospel of Philip states, light and darkness, life and death, right and left are brothers of one another. It is not possible to separate them. This non-dualistic thinking parallels Eastern philosophy's yin-yang concept and, remarkably, modern quantum physics principle of complementarity. Gnostics were mistakenly accused of being world-hating. In reality, they didn't hate the material world itself, but the illusion and attachment arising from identifying with materiality. The true Gnostic goal wasn't to escape the world, but to participate in it with full understanding. Like being in a movie theater, both immersed in the film yet aware it's a projection. This attitude is valuable for modern spiritual seeking. It's neither secular immersion nor religious ascetic denial, but a conscious balance, participating in the world while not being trapped by it. The most profound Gnostic insight may be its understanding of the Savior concept. Unlike traditional Christianity awaiting an external Savior, Gnostics saw the true Savior as inner knowledge, gnosis itself. Jesus wasn't venerated as a sacrificial lamb, but as a teacher awakening inner divinity. This is why the Gospel of Thomas has Jesus saying, I am all. All came forth from me, and all attained to me. Cleave a piece of wood. I am there. Lift up the stone, and you will find me there. This isn't a claim of an external deity, but guidance toward universal inner divinity. In this respect, Gnosticism resonates with mystical traditions worldwide, from India's yoga traditions to Sufism, from Taoism to Kabbalah, all pointing to the same truth. Divinity is not distant, but within. Why is this perspective important for our contemporary world? As we face ecological crisis, social division, and crises of meaning, perhaps we need exactly this perspective reconnecting us with our inner wisdom and with all things. How can we apply these ancient Gnostic insights to modern life? Let's explore ways these seemingly esoteric concepts can bring practical value to our daily existence. First, Gnostic teaching emphasizes questioning authority. In an age of information overload, critical thinking is essential. The Gnostic tradition encourages us not to blindly trust external authorities, but to verify truth through inner experience. This isn't rejecting all authority, but cultivating healthy skepticism, an inner verification system. When you encounter spiritual teachings, news items, or social norms, ask yourself, does this align with my deepest inner experience of truth? This practice prevents us from becoming slaves to others' opinions while opening doors to authentic wisdom. Second, Gnostic non-dualistic thinking offers a perspective beyond our increasingly polarized society. We live in a divided world where people are forced to choose sides, left or right, traditional or modern, scientific or spiritual. Gnostic thought reminds us that truth often exists at a deeper level beyond surface oppositions. In practice, this means cultivating both slash and rather than either slash or thinking. When caught in binary thinking, this is either completely right or completely wrong. Try exploring the middle ground. Truth often hides at the intersection of contradictions. Third, at the heart of Gnostic teaching is recognizing inner divinity. This isn't ego inflation, but discovering our connection to the universal source. You can experience this connection through contemplative meditation. Spend 15 minutes daily sitting quietly, turning attention inward. Don't chase thoughts, simply observe them. With practice, you may sense the presence beyond thought, what Gnostics call the divine spark. Sacred symbol work. Gnostic traditions are rich with powerful symbols. The seven-pointed star, the Ouroboros, infinity serpent, the rose cross. Choose a symbol that attracts you. Focus on it during meditation, allowing it to reveal deeper meanings. Dream journaling. Gnostics value dreams as channels for communication with higher consciousness. Record dreams each morning, looking for patterns or symbols. Over time, Dreams may reveal deeper psychological and spiritual truths. Fourth, the Gnostic conscious balance is crucial for modern life. We neither need to abandon the material world nor become completely immersed in it. Instead, we can learn to participate while maintaining awareness. This balance can be cultivated through sacred reminders, setting specific moments throughout your day to awaken higher awareness. For instance, each time you drink water, pause to recognize that water not only nourishes your body, but symbolizes flowing life energy. These tiny moments of awareness create spiritual breathing space in your day. Fifth is the Gnostic emphasis on shadow work. Gnostic texts like the Gospel of Judas demonstrate the importance of facing and integrating our darker aspects rather than denying them. Modern Gnostic practice encourages exploration of repressed emotions, desires, and fears. A simple shadow work practice is sacred dialogue. Identify a personal quality or emotion that makes you uncomfortable, then engage in dialogue with this aspect through meditation or journaling. Don't try to eliminate it, but understand why it exists and what message it carries. Gnostic tradition holds that our darkest parts often conceal our deepest wisdom. Finally, Gnostic thought emphasizes community based on shared exploration rather than dogmatic agreement. In our increasingly isolated world, finding or creating a group that supports exploration rather than enforcing belief becomes crucial. This could be a book club, meditation group, or philosophical discussion circle. Any space allowing open, authentic exchange. Remember that the true Gnostic path isn't about acquiring more information, but removing obstacles preventing us from seeing truth already present. As the Gospel of Thomas states, if you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. This is the most profound application of Gnostic teaching. Recognizing we're not seeking something external, but revealing truth already within us. As we conclude our journey into Gnostic wisdom, let's return to our initial question. Why do these ancient teachings remain relevant today? Why have they endured through nearly 2,000 years, still resonating with modern seekers? Perhaps the answer lies in the core Gnostic belief. Truth is timeless. Genuine wisdom doesn't become obsolete with passing centuries. In fact, as our society evolves, many Gnostic perspectives appear increasingly prescient. In a world drowning in information, yet starving for wisdom, Gnostic thought reminds us of the distinction between knowledge and wisdom. We can access unlimited information online, but transformative knowledge, gnosis, can only come through inner experience. In a society polarized between institutionalized religion and extreme secularism, Gnostic thought offers a third way, honoring spiritual depth while encouraging direct personal experience, without intermediaries or dogma. In a culture that separates humans from nature and from each other, the Gnostic concept of inner divinity reminds us of the essential connection between all things. If each of us carries the same divine spark, then harming others or the earth is harming a part of ourselves. Consider this possibility. If the Gnostics were right, if a divine dimension exists within each person, then many of our society's problems, from addiction to violence, from ecological destruction to crises of meaning, might stem from a single root cause: disconnection from our inner divinity. This isn't merely philosophical. It directly relates to how we structure society, educate future generations, and relate to the earth and each other. When we recognize our sacred nature, we no longer need endless consumption, power-seeking, or external validation to fill internal emptiness. Gnostic thought never attempted to create a new religion or replace existing faiths. Rather, it invited us to transcend surface differences and explore the common core of all authentic spiritual traditions. As Gnostic scholar Elaine Pagels noted, Gnosticism was not a set of dogmas, but a way of seeking. Perhaps this is the most precious gift of Gnostic teaching. It doesn't provide ready-made answers, but teaches us to ask better questions. It doesn't demand blind following, but encourages personal exploration. It's not about believing something, but becoming someone, becoming awakened, becoming free, becoming connected to inner truth. In a world filled with noise and distraction, the silent wisdom of the Gnostics whispers, all the answers you seek, all the power you desire, All the meaning you pursue already exists within you. You don't need to create it, purchase it, or search for it externally. You need only remember it, as the Gospel of Thomas states. Those who know themselves know all things. Today, as you leave this video and return to daily life, I invite you to carry this ancient yet eternal question. If a divine spark truly exists within me, if my essence is connected to the creative power of the universe, how might I live differently? The answer might be the beginning of your personal Gnostic path. If this exploration has sparked your thinking, please share your insights in the comments below. This channel exists to create a community exploring these forgotten wisdoms. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our upcoming revelations of more mystical traditions and ancient wisdom. Thank you for joining me. Remember, the true journey isn't in the external world, but inward. And that inward journey has only just begun.